as a tool. So what does elevation create? New weight. Good. Elevation creates our weight. And what does over direction create? Shape. Good. These are the two, as we said last week, these are the two fundamental areas of cutting hair. Once you understand elevation and you understand over direction, you can cut my hair, you can cut either of Elisa's hair, or you can cut Banu's hair, you can cut Martika's, and you can even cut George's hair. Once you understand elevation and over direction, you can do whatever you want to cut it. Okay? Lifting the hair. How high you lift it, basically, yeah. So this is a person facing this way, and we have our lines are cut at 0 degrees. Okay, so that's why we cut things through the comb rather than in our fingers. If we have the hair in our fingers, we've got a finger's width of elevation, which gives us a finger's width of graduation. Because the higher we lift the hair, the lighter our graduation. Underneath 90 degrees becomes. Make sense? Yeah. Anything from 90 degrees and above is all layering. So elevation is your weight, how heavy or light you want your shape to be, or how heavy or light you want your haircut to look, or the layers to feel. Okay? Your shape is formed by over direction. Okay? So your over direction creates how you control where the hair falls and what the hair does when it moves to the wind, or it's blow dried, or it's... So your square shape is created obviously these square lines, which is well obviously because square lines. But the hair's not going to move too much, it's just going to be forming as we were doing last week. So where we're creating our corners. Why is it important we created those corners in the haircut? Anyone remember? Okay. So the main reason is probably another reason to this, but this is the reason that I say, because we've got double the amount of hair here than we do in here. So when our lines form it, if we just run around like a round layer, the layer's going to run in here, and we're going to start to lose control of our overall lines. Okay. If we've got our square shape, the layers will come down heavier and flatter into the front, and a triangular shape will come very steep down to the shape. So your triangular shapes get longer in the front, your round shapes get shorter, longer in the back. Is that too much? We're just gone confusing. I don't want to confuse you all too much. So square shape, where we're using over direction, we're over directing back to the previous section. Yeah. So triangular shapes, we will over direct back to the first section. So we're increasing that length dramatically as we go.
Is that what you mean by over direction? Joining the...
Yes. Yeah. So connecting each section to each section and pulling the hair away from where it naturally falls. Yeah, good. Absolutely. So lifting and pulling is elevation over direction. Yeah. Once you understand your lifting, you create your weight, and your pulling or pushing, depending on where you're standing on the head, will be your shape. So crown to the top of the ear. I'm gonna race through this little piece because we obviously demoed it last week. I don't really want to be spending too much time on this, or rather you guys get cracking, because you can learn so much watching, but it's doing it where you're going to actually. Okay.
So you do the square and triangle.
Square layer first in the back. Good question, because last week we went triangular in the top, didn't we? So we only went triangular in the top so we can keep some length in the front of our dolls. So remember when we were pulling back into that piece. So we go from, if we break it down into two pieces or two complete different haircuts, you'll understand that. We're going to come on to that. Okay. So square and black.
So
sorry,
I noticed your radial curves a bit.
Does it?
Whereas mine is like dead straight from top to bottom. Is there a reason for that?
As in yours is dead straight from here. Yeah, of course, yeah, as long as you don't mind in.
It's just like from here down.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I go from crown to the top of the ear.
Oh.
My radial doesn't come from the top. The reason for is this is the true center of your head, the crown. So if you shove a post through there, it will come out the chin. Cut it in half, you'll have an even amount of hair.
So it's supposed to be.
And mine comes, yeah, it's not an error. I go from the crown instead of up here because this is my biggest danger zone in there. So I isolate anything from the crown forwards, just work my back because this is always going to fall same. No matter how you change your technique, whatever technique you use is always going to look the same.
Would it be massively wrong if you done it where
Oh God, no. But if she's got a jumpy crown or something is irregular in the top, then you're going to have a bit of an issue. I just feel comfortable with it. Completely up to you where you want to go. But if you want to go from the very top, like you do, Korea, then that's absolutely fine. You're absolutely okay. So we go square in the back or square section. Hello, Kelly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Don't worry, on video. Vertical section, and I'm going to stand dead square on, and I'm going to lift. So, say for instance, she has really fine hair. This is why it's really important for head position. So, I'm going to cut my layering at 90 degrees. So, I'm going to run up and cut at 90. Okay. Am I layering or am I graduating? I'm at 90 degrees flat on. Why?
I thought it was a
It's above 90, yeah.
Oh, it's 19 above. Okay.
It's 90 and
So
above.
90 degrees and above is layering. So this position now, am I layering? Well, she's sitting there sending a text. Am I layering or am I graduating? I'm and on 90 degrees. Do me a favor, Woody, would you? Can you come put her head upright, completely upright for me? Good, thank you. Now what am I doing? Graduating. Yeah? I think staying in the same place. Head position is crucial. Okay? Because you're going to come through and blow dry. If she's been texting all afternoon, then you're going to come through and blow dry and think, oh, heavy. Rob's told me it's not going to be heavy. Why is it so heavy? Because she's a red thought. Keep that head bang upright. Okay? That's absolutely important. Your body position and your client's position is crucial. She can screw your life up if she wants to, by just doing that. And then you've had it, okay? And they do move. So I'm going to do a square layer differently. I'm going to run it a little bit lower on my elevation because I've got enough to cut off in that point. Okay, so my elevation stays the same, and I'm going to run that nice and clean. And now I want to create my shape. So I'm going to go section 2 back into section 1. Head stays in the same place, and I'm going to go here so you can see elevation stays the same. And I'm trying to just force a little bit of length back into these two side pieces because that's where the head comes up on the side. Okay, see it with my hair specifically, and Woody's, especially when he's look that way again if you would, where his hairline comes up and then comes in, he's losing hair in that point. So if he was a lady with long hair, he's got loads of hair, but that's where the hairline runs. So you would have to force some length down into that shape. So I've over directed it back to my previous section. It's very, very gentle and very, very slight. Okay, elevation stays the same.
At least it's not just face it.
And then we run. And I'm going to do one more section. Comb through, really clean home. Make sure the home sections are really clean. 3 back into 2, and I run. How do I cross check? Opposite way, which is it? Horizontally, good. And where are we going to lift it to?
Yeah, then they go for a while.
To the centre? No, to the same. So you said the same. Good, to the same point, yeah. And what am I going to see? Am I going to see a flat line? Am I going to see a round line or a triangle? Straight. Straight. Good. Let's see. So same elevation. Square. Good. What happens if there's a bit like that? What do I have to do? Yeah, but can I chop it in my cross check? Go back into your shape. Good. If it's only a little bit, you definitely want to chop it off. Yeah. Good. Easy. So now we go back to section number 1 in the centre.
Yeah.
Run section 2.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to stay in the same position. Lift up my shape.
It's the best way to do it. Very dead easier.
and I'm going to push it away from me. Elevation stays the same, 2 back into 1, and take that away. And I like to go quickly. I'm a bit of a cheat, so I just take the section 3 out, but section very down if you're comfortable, and run. And then again, cross check through. Elevation the same. Okay. That's the easy. If somebody says to you, "Oh, you've not done your square legs, it's not it up," kill them with your terminology. I've used over directions. My elevation more direction creates my shape. I promise you, you'll hear someone who say it's not square legs. They don't know it's not. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, as Lisa 2, is this Lisa 2 or Lisa 1? As Lisa was saying, as Lisa said earlier, we went into triangular leg before. Okay, so last week, do that again, okay, just to maintain that length into the lesson. So this is square and this is triangular. So square being that we go from section number 1, and then we get 2 to 1, 3 to 2, 4 to 3. Gradually increases that length into the corner of the head. Yeah. If we were doing this back big triangular, we'd go 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1. Make sense? That's pretty much what triangular cutting is. So when we do our graduated bobs in a couple of weeks' time, you'll see the way I do it is easy and better. We go 6 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 7 to 1, 8 to 1, 9 to 1. And you get this beautiful, and you blow dry and just easy. When you think of shape, it's easy to create your work. So we've gone back to the previous, now we're going back to the first. Okay, so we're going to go straight to triangle. Nice and easy. So section in the back, head stays in the same position the entirety. And we're going to take our horizontal section now through the back section. That's typically staying in our diagram. And then above my section, so now my true radial, to run myself my little piece, stand in the back, and we're going to run our elevation to our same point. So now we want to go in. And climb over on top. I do say don't come underneath a lazy head. Just so, elevation high. Where's my guideline? It's very low. So back into my shape. There's my guide just on the top. Okay. Then again, next section forwards. I don't think I'm going to reach next section, section 2 back to 1, and then 3 will be back to 1, 4 will be back to 1, depending on how much hair they have or how big the head is. And I went out. And cross-checking, I'm going to go across and just lift this up. What should I see? Should I see square, round, triangular? Triangular? Yeah. So again, in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Easy. Nice and clean. A square layer, really, you want to come up and try and run that piece in the front, but generally don't worry so much about that. A square layer like that is ugly. It doesn't really work too well, and you'll find your client's hair will be too short in front. Okay. So, yeah, again, and there's no point going forwards. Make sense? Yeah? Quite simple. Realistically, all cutting is, I know I sound broken record, but it's elevation, it's over direction, it's where you're standing, where the three crucial things are. If you're standing, I don't care if you stand on your head, it's perfect, you do it, you're going to find it hard. If you're standing in the wrong side, you'll find it difficult. If you're standing in the nice position, just work that shape round. For graduation or bangs areas, we did cover this last week. Who wasn't here last week? You weren't. Were you here last week? You were here last week. You weren't. I thought you was here.
Yeah.
You were. Sure. So we're going to do a bangs first of all, then I'm going to let you guys go off and do your lines, square layer and bangs. Then I'm going to do side fringes and full fringes. Okay, good. Who remembers how we did it? That's what you're going to say. Fine section in front. Only 3 sections. Okay. Because if you do any more, you're going into your rest of your head shape.
And where the hairline is.
So we go in.
So we're going to make it straight.
And pin. And similarly on this side. Oops.
Does how much hair you take depend on what the client, how thick the client wants back?
Yes, a very good question. Hello. Very good question. What's the question? It depends on how much the bank's done. Yeah. Generally, I will go 3 sections back because I don't like it coming too far back on anybody. But if they want a big, solid sort of whoosh, then maybe go. But generally speaking, it's going to be the size of the shape that you're looking for. Okay. And then we're going to go. So, as we know from last week, we're looking at our front point. So we're looking at having something coming down and we're finding an area where we need to run it. So we're going to have our knuckles and fingertips facing either the point of the chin, the corner of the opposite side of the lip, the points of the nose, or the cheekbone-ish area, if you wish. Okay, that's how you're going to get your balance. So come in, central piece, the width of the nose first section, okay, and don't pull down too low again, keep it nice and raised off the nose, and this is going to split the way you go. This is the best way to work it, okay? So we're going to stand completely square on, I'm going to go a bit shorter now. So pick a guide, just big in that shape, okay? Then we want to start to tuck your arms into your body almost. So you want to almost pull yourself across a little bit if you want to. If you want to stand across to the side, you can. Be careful that you don't over direct too far. Your balance will go off. Okay. So start on this side, and I want to pull my section down, and my fingertips down so far that my knuckle points up to hit a nose, and my fingertips go to hit the floor. Okay. We don't want to be in like this area here, okay, because I'm aiming completely into the rest of my shape. She's got long down there, take all my half my leg off. Okay, so I'm gonna look, twist my elbow nice and high. There's my guide, fingertips hit the floor, and I'm pretty much just carving out that front piece of the hair. Okay. Next piece in the front, run that section in, twist round, and aim down. Okay. Similar on the other side. This time you always want to tuck your elbow across your body. Fingertips come up to hit the point of the nose. And my arms like bare in front of me. So run in and connect. And similarly on the bottom piece, again, fingertip hits the point of the nose. Knuckles come down to hit the floor. Promise you, your balance will be perfect every single time. Okay, it never will let you down. Okay, that's your guideline in now. So we can see that we've got that carved out area in the front. That's going to sit quite high. Still got all of that bounce and balance in the bottom that we've taken so long putting that guideline in. So now we just hit section number 2. Section 2, very, very thin, round off from the front of the face. And now we start to angle again. So now you don't need to angle too far, just following the guide. So I want to increase my or decrease my weight. So I'm now elevating a little bit higher, okay? And you can move now, you don't have to stand in one place. So kind of shuffle over here if you want to. You've got a guideline in there. Just be careful you don't pull across too far. And run. And similarly in that bottom piece, run. because you're only cutting off your guideline, you're not going to be taking that any shorter, so your balance won't change from here on out. Once you've got your balance on your first piece, and your elevation stays in the same place, and you're not over directing too far, your balance is always going to stay okay. Then, last little bit, we go back another section. And you can see in there, that's where we start to hit the top of the point of the ear, or the back of the ear slightly. Any further, I'm coming round into the points of the back of the person's side of their head, I suppose. And there's where you don't want to be, because that's my internal shape. So all of that layering, I've just focused, putting a lot of time into, and making my balance, making sure it's triangle, making sure everything happens. I'm just going to whack that straight away. Right. So third section, now going to come up to as close to 90 as I can. Close to 90 as I can with the head back. And again. So we can twist around, find a guide to end. If you want to work either side, it might be as and that is your forward graduation or bangs areas. Depends what you call them. I call them forward grad. Yeah. Thank you. That's pretty much it. So then when you blow dry, obviously blow dry with a little bit of bounce, a little bit of softness, but she will have something in the front that gives her a little bit of stability if she has that longer hair. So it still runs in quite cute. It's not too short in here. The worst thing you can do is not angle your fingers enough and you've taken all of that length. So she's got a long mullet basically, which is a bit grown. Good. Yeah. Make sense? Yeah. Any questions? Good. Lines for, I'm going to pause the video, so I'll restart it in a minute when we're doing it, so it all just runs on, so it's on the same video, so you have to search various videos. Put your lines in, square layer into triangular layer in the front, then do a little bangs, and then we'll move on. Make sense? Yeah. Good. You think so? So we're going to run it off the same process that we did or that we talked about before. So if you have your eyebrows ready, if you ever get your eyebrows ready, they will draw. They probably won't draw on you, but they may draw on you. If they don't draw on you, they're doing a drawing on you. Okay. So they're going to go from the corner of your eyebrow into the point of your nose and create a little triangle so that they can combine. I don't know why they do it, but it's obviously for symmetry. Symmetricity. Is that a word?
I think you made it up.
Symmetricalness. So we're going to use that same symmetricalness by going there, going there. Symmetry is really, isn't it?
Just symmetry, yeah.
So then we're going to use that same point of symmetry in our shape, okay? So that we ensure balance and we ensure a heavy sit onto said bone structure. So I've got my partner on the right hand side, and I'm going to do heavier part on this side, heavier fringe this side, lighter fringe this side, obvious. Okay, so quite simply, we want to, I cut them wet and then go dry afterwards. And cut it again dry. Same with a full fringe. So when you've got a full fringe, if it's a square fringe or a round fringe, we want to cut it wet long and then blow dry it straight and then cut it again. Why? Can anyone think of why?
When it's it's
It's going to spring, absolutely, so it's going to ping up. But if we cut it wet on the thing, then yeah, you're right, it's going to spring up too high. Any other? Same process, yeah. So when it's wet, it's longer, and it's going to jump when it dries. It's going to go shorter when it dries. Yeah, absolutely. But what main thing for me is when you're blow drying. So if you're blow drying with a round brush or a flat brush, you've got the width of your flat brush or your width of it, yeah. The width of your flat brush. Don't worry. Still on that.
all right.
You have the width of your flat. And when you blow dry that in, then you're going to blow dry it straight and it's going to be long. And then when you cut it, you're going to cut it, it's going to spring out because you're drying it like that and you only have a bevel from low, if that makes sense. So you're going to have your hair in there and it's going to be dried off the person's scalp or off the person's forehead. And then it's going to be flatter and smoother down there. So it's going to be nice and smooth down the bottom. You're going to feel perfect blow dry. Then you're going to bring it up to your eyebrows and it's going to go like that because you blow dried it in that sort of shape. Okay, so cut your fringes wet and then correct and refine and dry. So we'll start with the heavy side, and we've gone from again a little corner, pretty much. So a little triangle. So for the purposes of the video and you guys we've got a little triangle, and it goes into your recession point. Okay, very important that you don't run past your recession. If you go past your recession, you're going to take the hair out from the side, and it's going to be a too wide fringe. This is going to look a little bit too bulky. Okay, so let's begin. Nice and simple. Wet her down. Make sure it's nice and wet, and then run my shape in the front and. Oh, look at that, like do it here. And then from a diagonal section. So we want our section to come pivoting from that point in the top. And I've lost my section in the top here. So keep that out of the way. If you want to clip that out of the way, it's probably easiest. So we've got a little pivot point from our top triangle. Okay. Side parting, yeah, absolutely. So now I'm just going to pull this across. So the clip will get in the way, but don't worry too much. And nice and easy. And across to the opposite side. So we'll come to the opposite side to maintain length in this side here. Down the bottom. Okay. That's really important to do. If you go dead square, then it's going to be quite blocky on the side. So it's going to connect into your shoulder. Huh?
If you're not so confident, take small section, but it'll take you longer.
Speak a bit louder. I thought it was being quite loud. So we want to. Is that right? So we come in and go for that point off the point of the nose. So I've got my diagonal line that's going to be the same as the point of the nose and the top of the eyebrow. Okay, and just cut that square or cut that below. So club cut that away. Obviously beforehand you want to check where it's going to actually sit. So I think I've got a bit too short. But hey, let's continue. She's got it now, yeah. It'll grow. So then take your next piece and pull across to your opposite side. And again, lift your shape and run. And again, opposite side.
Nah. Then don't worry.
Same bit of elevation and roll. Okay. Check where that's going to sit. It's going to go onto just by a cheekbone. Lovely. It's very heavy though. Incredibly heavy. So we need to do something later. I'm going to put the opposite side in first of all. So again, lift off. Get your section. And again, we're going to pull to the opposite side. So you can use this side as your guideline so you're getting your balance if you want to. So find your point.
I'm drinking the coffee. I'm drinking that.
And across.
That's up to work. That was impressive. For a stunt like that, that's not a lot.
And do the same process. So down.
Yeah.
You do well.
Same section.
I'll say this in the picture. Yeah,
okay.
Nothing that.
And then similar on the opposite side. And across. Okay.
I'm good. Yeah. She said last week. I'm good.
Stop. Yeah.
So now we're in. And we now need to take weight out. So what do we do to take weight out? Elevate. Good. So we're going to go in again. And we want to take all of this weight off of the top piece. So we lift nice and high. Straight up from the top. What's happened there? Excuse me.
We don't know.
Oh, I've lost my phone.
Great. Oh, great now.
If I don't see where you can get it, or like,
To me, great video to watch. Oh, I love you.
it's called,
Don't cut hair after
lots of fish, loads of fish.
Good. Let's do it. So we're going to take some weight out. Okay. So section of weight and height. So that's my guide there. So that's my length. Okay. That's your piece. All of this hair here, this longer piece going up triangularly, is all sitting onto that same point. Okay. That's what's creating the weight. So if we're going to take all of this off, we just need to go to our shortest point, which is our line, and then get rid of all of that. Okay, because that's the weight. We're just taking off that weight. And again, pivot round, elevate nice and high. There's your point. And
so you get longer length at the front, but a square at the back.
into
Much more
your
square
shape.
appearance.
And then do the same on this side. You can do this in one
As
because
you
it's
can
quite
see,
small.
before where it was
So
round
there's
to
your
the point,
piece.
there wasn't hardly any space on it.
Run.
It was in the side, it was
And then
You
run.
cut it longer.
Okay, so once we blow dry, similar sort of
Then
process.
straight back to that
And
straight
you
line.
cut it.
Yeah, straight more. Whereas
Just
you
basically
can have
flip
it
the hair away.
that side, I think, and then
So, all in one. Hold the wire in between your legs. Once you qualify, don't worry.
very straight up, what angle is this?
Yeah.
Not angry.
Yeah, it all comes together. Flick across. Dinky side fringe.
That's where my shortest band is gonna sit and the rest of it will gonna come down after, yeah?
Oh.
Side back.
Little
How
side
about-
bandsy thing, yeah.
Do it, does everyone know what very short, orange looks like? Yeah. Yeah? You don't? You know that you just. Orange.
She do.
Make sense?
She's like an orange, she's like an orange.
Yes.
Yeah.
She gets like a little thing.
She's talking about seconds.
Just like,
Voila.
Voila.
he was to hold the orange, so it'd be
Okay. If she wants something that's a little bit more shorter in the front, and then she wants for graduation or like a bangs underneath, you can do the same thing. Obviously stretch your section quite wide. If she doesn't want that, then obviously leave your length quite heavy in the front. It's quite cool when you do like a little when you're doing a little graduate bob or a bob, to have your bob line in nice and clean, and then just a little cheeky.
So if she wants longer, so she can.
And this one,
Yep, you can put it down further if you want to, or run it into the full graduation setting. Make sense?
why? Because you
But you would normally go back and cut that off.
You can cut it like that and really.
You can come and get it, yeah, come and do it again if you want to. So I just come through, take it up a little bit more, just point it up. Just to take a bit more weight out. Good. Okay. So, what's the time? 7:30. Let's do a round brush blow dry competition. Okay, you like a competition, don't you? Other than Barika, because we're going to go through the round brush together. So you're excluded from the competition today. Why? You're not. And Justine, who's mine? Because yours is too short.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll find one for you.
Oh.
What? Okay. Are you staying? Okay. Do you want to use Becky's? Because yours is very short.
So what are you going to do?
Round brush blow dry competition. Becky is our judge, and it is all going to be judged anonymously. So once you've finished, shuffle your stand over at the front. Do it however you want. There's no rules. You can pin curl it if you want to. You can use whatever products you want to. Side parting, middle parting, whatever you want to do. Okay. Let's see who blow dries the best in Becky's mind.
No pressure, Becky.